Let's get ready to roll.
An area rich in cultural heritage, the lowest lying city that is a capital in the world. 28 meters below sea level, this is Baku, and this is the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. This track in Marbula 1 form, 17 turns. You will go by the castle, you'll go by these iconic places that make this street circuit so unique and also very fast. Looking at qualifying from yesterday, it was close. There were some upsets throughout. We start at the back. Franco Colapinto dead last next to one of those aforementioned surprises, Lando Norris in 19th. We've got an Aston Martin and a Red Bull next up with Stroll and Tsunoda. Pierre Gasly and Ali Behrman come next in 16th and 15th respectively. 14th goes to Alex Albon and 13th, Esteban Ocon. Isaac Adjar, who holds the second-tier lap record here in 12th next to the other McLaren that did not make Q3, Oscar Piastri, Lewis Hamilton, and Gabriel Bortoleto work us into the top 10. Max Verstappen and Nico Hülkenberg. George Russell and Fernando Alonso bring us to row 3. Kimi Antonelli and Carlos Sainz with a tremendous showing in the Williams to start in 3rd. It's Liam Lawson starting behind our pole sitter and former winner of this race in lower formula, Charles Leclerc. And we're rolling. Not a bad start in the Williams. Not a bad start also for Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin, who gets by at the chicane, only to be passed himself by George Russell. Several very tight turns here, and it's Alonso and Russell dueling. Now they get a bit of space. Very close they were coming out of that hard left-hander. Several marbles are stalled. We've got a marble that is caught on the inside, and that's going to bring out a yellow flag. And let's see what will happen here. If the field does not clear that marble, we may end up having to bring out the safety marble. Oh, we've got more that are stuck. Multiple ones as well. Antonelli, Gasly, they have stalled out. And this time, if we've got 2 separate incidents, surely this will be a full course. We'll have to wait and see. Did anybody get going from that latter incident? Antonelli, Gasly, and Ocon are stuck on the standings. Let's see what happens here. Impacts, and it looks like they've gotten going again. All right, we are back to green. Everybody has been cleared. Like I said, usually they let the field come by at least once just to see what happens. So those marbles are now mixed up in the battle for the lead. It's the 2 Ferraris in 1st and 3rd. Gabriel Bortoleto sandwiched in between. Carlos Sainz still hanging around in 4th. Alonso dropped back to 5th. Hülkenberg, Russell all the way down to 7th. Stroll had come up to 8th, but is now dropping again and seesawing back and forth. Adjar and Behrman rounding out the top 10. The 2 Red Bulls down in 13th and 14th. The 2 McLarens are down there in 14th and 15th right now. Positions changing all the time, and it's going to be 1 step between Leclerc and Bortoleto. And off they go from the conveyor belt, and they stay as they were. Sainz, Hamilton, right in there. This is a race that has not seen any repeat winners since Sergio Perez, who's been racing here since 2016, almost every year. In that very first year, it was not actually called the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Oh, we got another yellow flag here. Hold on, we had a marble briefly get stalled. We are hearing from race control. It was Lawson at turn 14. Got dislodged and is evidently still going. Remains on the lead lap as well, which is something. We pick back up on that topic. Nico Rosberg won that very first event in 2016. It was branded the European Grand Prix at the time, but ever since, it has been the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Red Bull won this 4 separate times. Mercedes has won it 3, but they also won an additional one as an engine supplier. That was last year, and Oscar Piastri won in the McLaren. Leclerc, Bortoleto, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Hamilton down to 6th now. Verstappen come all the way up from that 14th spot. In front of Behrman and Alonso. Tsunoda also been making some gains. Here we see a good battle. We have several marbles that are in the fracas behind. Looking off into the distance there. Leclerc, Bortoleto. You see Antonelli is in the mix, but is in the process of being lapped, in case you're wondering what that marble is doing up there and not counting. In that case, getting by both the Williams and the Sauber, trying to unlap himself. Hamilton bounds around off the curbs and takes a legitimate 2nd place and is now in a fight with Nico Hulkenberg to do it. Also sees Bortoleto get by into that left-hander. Big speed down here through what is technically the final corner. These marbles barely feel it. There's Antonelli doing a good job of getting out of the way. Or was that Russell? No, that might have been Russell farther back. Oh, we've got marbles that were very close to getting stuck right there. 2 or 3 of them, but they are able to use all of their might to keep going. Very tricky parts of this track. And when this circuit was brand new, it was a very different kind of challenge. The speed mixed with the close confines meant that, yes, there were some incredibly slow corners, but also blinding speed on this straightaway, leading to the start-finish line. Excellent 4 or 5 marble battle that we're looking at right there. That is Hamilton, trying to hold back the floodgates and cannot. Sainz gets by. Chasing down Hulkenberg for 2nd place, that's giving Leclerc a bit of a gap up front. Just 3 laps to go. Leclerc's done a great job of holding this one for as long as possible. Ferrari never won here in Baku, at least in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Sainz, 3rd. Hamilton drops all the way back to 6th. Both of the Aston Martins are now in the top 5. Piastri and Norris, our championship leaders, are down there in the bottom of the top 10 or just outside of it. Piastri 9th. Now Verstappen gets by. Tsunoda in 11th. Norris in 12th. Good over-under moves right there. You can see everybody taking a very tight line at the apex. Final lap begins at the front of this race. And white marble you see is lapped, not an issue. It is Charles Leclerc leading, and that is the gap back to Nico Hulkenberg in the Sauber. Carlos Sainz and the Williams would love to get a huge points haul here. Compared to where they have been over the course of this season, that would make a big difference. Albon down there. Oh, we got another yellow flag. Hold on here. And it looks like on the very last lap, you can see up at the top there, is that marble going to get dislodged? Yes! But then we get another marble taking its place. Colapinto got stuck after trying to help Albon. And here comes Albon. Will be classified in 16th. That means Colapinto in 17th. Ocon was stuck earlier. Ended up moving again. Well, in the midst of all of that last lap craziness with the yellow flag, Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for the first time as a constructor and a driver, at least in the top tier of Grand Prix racing. Leclerc 4th in the championship standings coming into this race, and will take those points, especially with neither of the Red Bulls finishing in the top 10. Taking a look at the overall standings, Verstappen has been leapfrogged Leclerc up into 2nd. You can see what that does to the championship standings. Let's take a look at the constructors, and McLaren still holding the top spot. It's only a 14-point gap back to Ferrari. Aston Martin jumping 3 with a wonderful 2-marble effort here to net 21 points. Well, is this how the Grand Prix is going to go tomorrow? We'll have to see if this is an accurate predictor, but either way, this has been a blast. Thanks for joining us.